Welcome to the ESR. Mr. X, joined by Benson.
Montage.
Thanks for Denal hooking it up with the exclusive look at that montage. You can find it on the Denial YouTube. We're gonna show it again.
The best music.
Oh, sick montage.
We were talking about it. It's like you don't expect a montage these days to have that kind of a soundtrack to it. You expect like dubstep, like wub 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 wub.
Right. It was like a chill, like.
Whereas that was like.
It's a happy like event. You won champs. Like there's no reason to be all like.
Everything is
dubstepping in the club. No.
Everything is good.
Yeah. No reason for that. No reason for that. Yeah. Congrats to Denal again. Call of Duty World Champion. So.
What have we got today?
Today. We have a lot to talk about today.
Okay.
A lot of different things.
Dude, I'm excited for today because
we're bringing on live guests.
We have live guests.
Today.
Yes. There'll be someone like set.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Smash, Mario Kart 8 DLC. Talk about that.
Who doesn't love Mario Kart?
Who doesn't love Mario Kart?
You gotta love Mario Kart.
They came out with a 200cc difficulty too. We'll talk a little bit about that in a video. Star Wars Battlefront. Oh, did you see the Star Wars movie trailer? Yes. The new one?
So sick. Please tell me we're showing that.
I was gonna ask Will if we could.
Oh yeah, we will.
We probably should because it has nothing to do with
badass.
everything. We're gonna talk about Hearthstone coming to Android and iPhone, taking over everybody's lives.
Dude, it's so addictive. It's such an addictive.
Talk about Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't really know nothing about this, but it's a MOBA game made by Blizzard. So I believe it's still in beta, but they are doing like some competitive matches for it already. So we have Kevin.
That's pretty cool.
Heroes of the Storm Wizard in-house. We're gonna bring him on. Talk about that. And then something different. We liked what we were doing with the behind the game. But beyond the scoreboard. We liked what we did with the player profiles and stuff. But I didn't like it all in one. So today, before every commercial break, we're going to show you a player profile. And you're going to have all commercial break to guess who it is. We'll come back. We'll tell you who it is. And
the Pokemon episodes, right?
It's like Pokemon. Right. It would show you a silhouette. Who's this Pokemon? And then you'd have a little bit of time to guess.
Oh my God,
so we're going to do that all show long.
That should be pretty cool. I like that idea a lot.
We're going to talk about Sivo. Insane match last night. Did you catch the nuke?
No, I didn't.
You're an awful human being, but we're going to watch a little bit of that. I spent a bunch of money on Chroma cases. He Chroma 2 cases.
So you're opening
we're going to open those. We're going to open those 6 cases.
And Corey Dunn is
Corey Dunn, former caster for Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1, yep.
CS caster. He's going to be here. Like Corey Dunn's going to be here. A whole lot of stuff going on.
Corey, I love Corey.
So then we have the what videos. We have our 2-episode defending champion, the worst video game players on the planet.
You picked out the videos today for this.
So I found videos. I found videos from all over the spectrum of gaming. I found personalities that we know playing games you would never expect being awful at them. I found clips from Halo, AW, CS.
The big question.
Smash Brothers.
I know everyone's going to ask this question. Is there anything worse than our defending champion?
There's some pretty bad plays. Really? There's some pretty bad plays.
Hopefully
there's one from Destiny that's so cringy that it's absolutely hysterical.
Okay.
It's like the worst of the worst. After that, Ultimate Duo Tournament, Proof and Cap versus Zuma and Saints.
That's gonna be
Went
sick.
back in the vault, found some good videos. Those guys, we even found a video of Zuma from MW3.
What? Really?
Yep. Who knew?
Yeah, I'm impressed. You're getting better at this whole video thing.
Yep. Quick scope today. That'll be a good one. I have a very interesting question kind of sparked by the whole Star Wars debate. Star Wars Battlefront and we'll talk a little bit about that.
I can imagine.
Bottom line, and then Pro League recap and preview. So, pretty stacked show today.
I'm casting Pro League with Max later on, man.
That is one of the worst ideas anybody
It's going to be legendary. Max is going to say everything completely incorrect. I'm going to sit there and be like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Nah, it's going to be pretty fun.
Evening.
But we'll kick things off with Smash. We talked a little bit about Smash last week. Mewtwo comes out on DLC, and then there's a thread on Reddit where somebody, just kind of data mined into the patch for the game.
Okay.
And found some interesting info. There's actually music set up in Smash for Ryu from Street Fighter. We talked a little bit about
how did they find that out?
We talked a little bit about they do like data mining, so they go into the patch notes and they figure out like they can actually see all the that's how they figure out like Destiny DLC and stuff. People actually go into the back end of the game and they get like the logs and they find out what's already in there but just not unlocked, and then you can kind of see what is potentially coming. So Ryu from Street Fighter, that's huge news. Potentially could be making his way over to Smash. We talked a little bit about it. They're doing that.
We talked about this a while ago, right?
Yeah, they're voting characters in. You can vote any character you want in from any game.
He's in already,
Mewtwo's in already. Dude, they added him. possibility of other characters going over to Smash. Definitely seems likely that we can see crossovers now, because you're going to see probably, the Ryu's, there's information of him in the game. You pretty much know he's coming down the line. That'll be really interesting to see cool, who else they add. We were kind of arguing who we thought they could add from other games.
I said, Kenny from South Park was a great pick.
We thought like a South Park character would be cool.
Cartman would be badass, though. Just imagine that. Just Cartman.
I mean, even with the Star Wars theme, what happens if you had like Darth Vader or something in Smash? Like, cartoonish?
Dude, that would be
Or even
badass.
something cool like, I don't even know when was the last time you saw him in a video game. There were video games made on the movies, but like, what happens if you had like Buzz Lightyear in Smash Brothers or something like that?
That would be cool.
You like fly off the map and stuff.
That'd be
How
so
epic
sick,
would that
dude.
be? There are so many possibilities.
That would be badass.
Check out the Nintendo site. I believe the polling for that is still open.
I know a lot of people went and voted for Nate Shot.
Right. A lot of people voted for Nate Shot. So definitely,
but you'll vote
definitely a possibility. Yeah, put your vote in. Vote for anybody you want. Yeah, you vote for me or Ben. Mario Kart 8 DLC 2 announced April 23rd release. 8 new tracks, 4 new carts, 3 new racers. It's like an Animal Crossing theme. Villager, Isabella, and Dry Bowser. But what they added was a 200cc difficulty.
Okay, so explain
150 is the highest it goes right now. I believe we have a video comparing 150 to 200.
Okay.
So you see how much faster 200 is on that right-hand side. It just boosts up the speed dramatically. And this is going to be sick. I know me and my brother.
Jeez, that is significantly quicker.
Right. Me and my brother have a Wii U hooked up to a 70-inch. We love Mario Kart.
Who does?
And we love Smash. I am excited for the 200cc because you can see how much more difficult it's going to be. I mean, look how much further he is in the level. He's
halfway through, basically.
Right, halfway through compared to 150. So I think this obviously you'll see online as well. Definitely think this will probably be the go-to mode for online play. I believe that me, you, and Puckett need to set up a Mario Kart Racing League here, and we need to stream it.
I'm with it.
Like a Grand Prix, and we all come in. Like if I'm Mario, I come in with a Mario hat on, and like we all just like get down.
I'm about that life. That sounds like a good idea.
I'm about that.
And we keep track.
Yeah.
We should race on every single track. Do a leaderboard system. Dude, we could do that for like a month. How many tracks are there now? Because they added 8 new tracks.
8, 10, 12. It'll be like 20-something tracks.
So for a month, we could actually do our own Grand Prix. I keep track of the points. Every single day, we do a race. Just saying, that'd be pretty cool.
We actually could do that.
I am 100% about that life.
That would be actually really sick.
Dude, that's as soon as the Ultimate Duo is done,
that's when
Mario Kart Grand Prix.
Actually, I had another idea.
What was your idea?
That'll actually be pretty epic.
Better than a Grand Prix on Mario Kart?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Epic. It involves you knowing nothing about video games.
Oh, good.
But it's going to last an entire month. How? What? Don't worry about it. Next game. Huge news. Obviously, the trailer for the movie today. Star Wars Battlefront.
Let's go.
I believe we're going to see a trailer for that tomorrow. A new one. Gameplay tomorrow. But we actually have the trailer we can show you guys. This game is so... It's going to be so hype. Did you play any of the other ones?
Very, very briefly. Not for anywhere near as long as I would like. But I remember I spoke to the guys at DICE when this was like still really like hush. They're like, this game, this is going to blow everything out of proportion.
So we actually have gameplay from the previous ones to show after this. We can talk a little bit about. For all you guys that don't know, Star Wars Battlefront, think of, I wouldn't really say it's like Battlefield, so to speak. I would say it's a class-based large world shooter. Is that how you kind of put it?
Massively. It's like a...
So, different classes, like obviously you can be like stormtroopers, you can, be different types of, robots as well. And then also, on the flip side, you can be kind of melee fighters who can use lightsabers. I remember, I think it was Battlefront 2 or 1 on the original Xbox. I remember you can actually block bullets with the lightsaber as you're trying to approach. Yeah, you can like, it's sick. Oh, so sick.
Yo, early in-engine footage.
Yeah, so, it's going to be epic. It's going to be epic.
DICE always make really good-looking games.
Yeah, I mean, you can see some of the design work right there. Once this game is out, it's going to be taking a lot of my time, I feel like. And it's interesting. The others were third-person shooters. I wonder if this one is going to go to third person, or is it going to be first person?
I think I would. That's a really good question. I would imagine they would say with oh,
dude, because those in-game environments are pretty sick. If that was first person gameplay. Look at that. Tell me you are not psyched for that. Dude, that we can actually show some of the footage from, I believe this is Battlefront 2, just to give you a quick glimpse of what it was like way back. Really different, but I mean, all the classic, Star Wars kind of vehicles and equipment completely in use.
Like you're talking old school.
Oh, right it's going to be one of the biggest games of the year, without a doubt. How
successful do you expect it to be?
I mean, the Star Wars franchise this year is going to be big with the movie and everything coming out. I mean, you got to figure. So you kind of had, you can go in all of these, the walkers and whatnot. And then there are multiple classes. So there was different like support classes. There was just standard assault ones, and then obviously the guys with the lightsabers we were talking about. Was there a hero class in one of them where you could actually on each map there was one person could be Darth Maul, and there were hero classes for each map, I believe. And one map you could actually be, you can be a Sith or a Jedi, and
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And you were the leader of the team.
Dude, look at this game.
Awesome. I haven't played a good third-person shooter in a while.
What was the last one you played?
It actually might have been Battlefront. It actually might have been Battlefront. I remember when this game came out for the 360 to start things off. So hyped. Nothing was kind of like it.
Hyped.
And the shooting mechanics were dope. You kind of see it now, and obviously this is pretty dated. This is pretty old footage.
This is old,
but
man.
I mean, the shooting mechanics pretty on point. Not a real lot of auto aim. I was a big fan of this game. I think the new Battlefront will be definitely one of the top titles of the year.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think, like you said, with the movie, everything, all the hype around Star Wars right now, this game has some traction. Has some traction. I'm really pumped for it.
Without a doubt.
To play it.
And the new game will actually, I believe, it'll actually have a story and characters all revolving around the new game in it. The new movie.
The new movie.
Yeah. So you see here, vehicles being used. You can use the turrets. You can use everything. I think on next gen, the possibilities for this are absolutely endless.
Yeah, it gets a little.
I think you could do anything with this title. So that's just a little look at Star Wars Battlefront, the new, the old. Really excited. No release date or information about that game at all yet. I imagine when they do the gameplay trailer, I think it's tomorrow. I think then we'll probably know a little bit more about that. Maybe we'll have to revisit that on Tuesday. Take a look at the trailer and whatnot.
Trailer out. We'll wait.
So, Hearthstone, very popular game. If you guys haven't tried Hearthstone, have you tried?
Yo, dude, I'm addicted.
Okay, so I got into Hearthstone a while ago. Me and Maven, I was slaying in my home at my bed, playing it, and it is so addicting. Now you can bring it with you wherever you go.
I'm so glad they put it
Will says he plays it in the bathroom whenever he goes. That's why sometimes we go to long commercial breaks because he's finishing games in Hearthstone. Why would they do this to the already addicted people of Hearthstone? You just make it so easy, free to play. It's a phenomenal game. If you guys haven't gotten into Hearthstone yet, definitely check that out.
It's very, very easy to get into. The basic mechanic of the game is just so simple that anyone can understand it, which is why I think people are getting so addicted to it. And bringing it out on phone, such a good move from them because so many people play it already on PC. Then obviously they announced it was on tablets, and people were like, "Oh yeah, this is great." Now finally on phones, great move.
No, it needed to come to phones. I mean, I believe it was already on iPad.
Yeah,
there was no reason for it. Yeah, there was no reason for it not to be on phones and such. So. Heroes of the Storm, another game we're going to talk about from Blizzard, competitive MOBA coming out from them. We can actually show you the cinematic trailer, and then we can talk a little bit more about a competitive game.
Nuclear launch detected.
Well, that was the trailer for Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
Looks very cool. We have Kevin.
Hey everybody.
Hey buddy.
Hey guys, you guys look really familiar.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're in the office every day.
I know, right?
Like we work together.
I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Bring it on live guests.
Yeah.
Good addition.
Thank you.
I like it.
So we have some competitive gameplay. It's actually between Complexity and Tempo Storm. We're both kind of noobs.
That was the first time I've like.
So I was like, we can show this because it's awesome, and I'm a fan of this. But
It looks cool.
Somebody to explain it. So
Insert Kevin.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
You're a caster for the game, right?
I'm a commentator for the game. I hosted the stage at BlizzCon for the game, so it's pretty much all I do anymore. It's like I go home and I'm like, all right, got done being an esports job for the day. Now I'm just gonna go play more esports. So
what really separates Heroes from a game like Dota or?
So Heroes is like almost a completely different game in a lot of different ways. Dota, League. So Blizzard likes to just set people off course already by calling it a hero brawler. It's technically still a MOBA. Still does the same thing. But there's different maps. Instead of Dota or League, where you play on one map constantly, there's, I think, 8 or 7 different maps right now.
Okay,
I can't count. And each one has different map objectives that change how the game plays every single time you're playing the game. So there's, say, one map where it's called Dragon Shrine, and periodically throughout the stage of the game, 2 shrines will open up. If your team controls both of those shrines, in the middle there's going to be a huge, bigger shrine. You channel that, and you become a giant dragon guy who gets to like walk down lanes and like blow up
Any
stuff.
game that you can be a dragon.
Are you serious?
Blow
A massive dragon with a huge
fan
axe.
of.
It's really awesome.
Okay,
we have video of that.
I don't think we have video of that.
I want to see that. Screw the competitive stuff. I want to see a dragon. That's what I want to see.
There's other, like, every single time I talk about the objectives on the map for each of these different maps, the other mobile players are like, that is broken. I don't understand how that's. There's another map where if routinely there's a little tribute that spawns.
Okay.
And this is the map Cursed Hollow, and these tributes spawn and force these massive team fights. During these team fights, you know, everybody's going to be fighting for this tribute. If you get 3 of these tributes in a row, and this is where I'm going to say other mobile players say this is overpowered, the enemy team's towers no longer shoot, and all of their creeps are 1 health. For 2 minutes.
What?
Yes.
I got to get into this.
So tributes spawn and they force these huge team fights. So this is Tempo Storm versus Complexity. This is Last Titan Arena. This was a really, really hype match. Like Tempo Storm was up 2-0 in a best of 5. Complexity brought it back to this game, and they went to a last game. Spoilers alert.
Yeah.
But these games are like absolutely ridiculous. And here's even like the cooler thing about this game. each of the matches are just about 20 minutes long.
So they're not that long.
They're not that long at all. They're easy to get into. There's tons and tons of, because of these map objectives, they force like so many team fights, and the team fights are really
That's the one thing with like League I try and watch, and I'm a complete noob. I don't know that much about League, but one, the games are so long, and it's like the same kind of objective over and over again. I like the fact that this is different objectives. And now this is still in beta, if I'm not
Yes, this is open beta, right? Or no, sorry, closed beta right now.
This is still in closed beta?
Yes, this is still in closed beta.
But there are tons of places you can get keys. Like, there's just like, you know, websites and etc.
Hey, hit me up. Get me a key.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
But there's you know, there's keys that go out. A lot of people are just kind of like handing them out on Twitter, etc.
Okay.
But yeah, and of course, like if you haven't gotten an email, you should still check your Battle.net launcher, because sometimes like the emails don't go out, but you are enabled.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a huge team fight that comes in. You can see like the team fights are like super exaggerated. There's just so much going on at once.
That is the most badass thing ever, though.
There's a guy named Chen. He's from World of Warcraft. He jumps into a giant barrel. There's lasers. There's light shows, etc. Illidan's in it. Like, so that's the other cool thing about this game is that there's a whole bunch of players. There's characters that you never got to play as before. Like my favorite is Diablo. Like, you can't play as Diablo in any other match.
That is epic.
Yeah, man.
That is epic.
Diablo's in the game. You can play as him. He can play as Azmodan from the latest Diablo game. Like it's. So
I noticed Illidan because I was like a huge World of Warcraft
I was gonna
at
say,
the bottom, and I saw immediately. I was like, okay.
he's got this awesome. Like he just yells, "You are not prepared," and then jumps across the map. It's so much fan service. I'm not even trying to exaggerate.
From what I've kind of been told and kind of seen, Dota seems to be like out of like MOBAs the most complicated. Where would you rank this? In between like a League and a Dota, or is it easy to get into?
It's easy to get into. The great thing about this game is that you have to, I mean, you don't have to, but you should play with a big group of your friends.
Okay.
And that is like where everything really gets exciting. If you have one person who remotely understands the game, you can actually do a lot more work. This game relies a lot more around macro decisions instead of like micro decisions. Like League of Legends, you have to sit there and lane really well. You have to get those kills, especially in Dota.
It's like tedious, I feel like. That's what I didn't like about League. It's tedious.
These are more bigger decisions. Like, there are so many different things happening on the map. Making the best decision is actually probably going to get you more worth out of and more victories than actually, you know, being able to just kind of win something in a set way. But once you get to the competitive side, it is all of those things at once. Like
so I guess pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. The like targeting and everything is like incredibly important later on, because some of these heroes just do so much work, but for like so many different reasons. So I find the team fights to be more exciting than League of Legends, just because of that. Like they're a little bit faster team fights, and they require very important decision making in those team fights as well. But if you're playing with a whole bunch of new people, really all you have to focus on is, well, we could go for this tribute, but let's also weigh in the fact that we can go pick up mercenary camps. Now, I didn't explain that mechanic either. This is different from other games. Mercenary camps don't give you gold or anything, because gold doesn't exist in the game.
Right.
There's no gold. There's no items.
No items at all?
No items at all.
Huh.
Mercenary camps will push lanes for you.
Oh, that's interesting,
they're free until one team takes it?
Exactly right there. That giant guy right there, he's a mercenary camp. You fight him neutrally, and there can be giant contentions over that. But after you capture him, there's a little circle, you stand over it, which is also another point where your enemies can contest.
Yeah.
He then walks down a lane and pushes everything for you.
your team.
Dude, I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
So that's awesome. Where there's a whole bunch of objectives where you can decide, hey, we can let go of the map objective of, say, getting a tribute, because you need to get 3 of them. They're only going to get the first one. Let's go grab a whole bunch of mercenary camps, so they're pushing a lane.
You shove the lanes, right?
So that's where all these giant macro decisions come in that I don't find really exist in other games. It's not ever a question of, like, in League of Legends, you're sitting in a lane, you're like, all right, I guess we sit in lane for a bit, and yeah, we can get a team fight going on, I guess, if we want to. This game's like, you got a team fight right now.
Team fight, yeah.
And if you can't team fight right now, you better be making something else happen. So that's why I really enjoy this game. It's like talking about those giant decisions.
How many heroes are there currently right now in the game?
Oh man,
like about
40. They just released Sylvanas.
Okay.
Who's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They also released the Lost Vikings, if you're like an old-time Blizzard fan.
Okay.
Which is like you can control 3 characters at once.
It's pretty cool.
Wait, you can control 3 characters at once?
With the Lost Vikings. The Lost Vikings have this mechanic where you control 3 characters at once. All right, so let's get into some of the more ridiculous basics of this game, which is, so there's no items, but instead there's skills and talents.
Okay.
Your level, you don't have to level up each of your abilities. You have them in the beginning, except for your heroic, which is your ultimate.
Right.
Yeah. Those just level up. They scale by themselves. Every 3 levels, you get a different talent point out of like a set of like 3 to 5, and those will change how your abilities or how your character works. For example, there's simple ones where it's like just increases range, etc. But there's also things like when you're a ranged assassin and you use your AoE ability, it slows everybody that's in that AoE instead of just doing damage.
So it buffs like your abilities
right.
as well.
Dude,
so
I like that.
It's a different buffing to those abilities. Now,
how many of those are there?
For each hero, it's their own.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So every game is going to be different then, essentially.
Yeah. It does remove a little bit of that versatility where, like, you can play something like, I mean, if you played League of Legends, you could play, like, AP Tristana versus AD Tristana, or go for, like, a heal build on somebody who normally isn't a healer. It does remove a little bit of that versatility, but they're working on things like that to bring out, like, heroes that are able to kind of rotate all throughout. Like, Tassadar can play a really damagey build, or he can play a super support build. Like his
That's pretty cool. I like the look of that game.
Yeah.
And there's 2 heroics for every hero. So it's like
2?
Street Fighter. So it's like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
You get to choose what your heroic's going to be, and you choose it mid-match. You choose it when you hit level
I like
10.
the decision making that you can make.
Dude, right? That makes it pretty awesome.
One last thing. When does it officially come out? Have they said anything like that?
They haven't given out any dates yet. They haven't even released dates for open beta or anything just yet. But they're throwing out so many. So I mean, I said this before, but check your Battle.net launcher. Chances are you probably are like, you have a 50% chance of having it already.
Right.
If not, I mean, there's a multitude of ways, like big gaming news websites. I'm sure. You know, there's tons of ways you can get a key.
Esports tournament hosts.
Esports tournament hosts. They actually just hosted Heroes of the Dorm, which was their well, that's still going on. Their huge collegiate league.
They have a college
colleges, league? Yeah, colleges.
Are you serious?
Yeah, colleges. Get
That's pretty cool.
And
That's
if you
cool.
signed up, you got a free beta key.
Yo, that is cool.
Dude,
Call of Duty needs like a collegiate.
They did it. They did it
Cool.
once. They did it once with NVIDIA. I remember that. I like cool things like that.
Yeah.
That's a nice little extra touch.
Blizzard's been putting out a lot of really good press with this game. So Here's the Dorm still continuing on, but Titan Arena this weekend, you can check it out. It's going to be on mlg.tv/Titan Arena.
I'm checking that out.
I definitely want to check it out.
Just to see how it plays.
I'm not good at MOBAs. I think
that's the one thing I could actually say I'm actually better
I will
than
openly
you
admit I tried to play League of Legends once with a trackpad on my MacBook.
That doesn't
not
work.
Very good. No, it didn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
I didn't like it. It was not fun.
In fact,
I tried to play a MOBA.
I quit out uninstall within like an hour.
There's not many games you can play with the trackpad, except for maybe Hearthstone, but that's now on your phone.
I love Hearthstone with my
That's not on your
trackpad.
phone, right? So it's like,
trackpad.
I'm just going to be sat here on the ESR just playing Hearthstone on my phone.
Yeah.
Just chilling out.
But Kevin, thank you for coming on
Thanks,
today.
Kevin.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Discussing some heroes. Definitely excited about that game. Before we go to commercial break, we're going to throw up a Who Am I? Kind of Pokemon style. Before every commercial break, we're going to give you a Who Am I? So this player, he's played on 2 teams during Advanced Warfare. He's in the top 10 in overall KD and slaying during Season 2. You see his stats right there. 30.40 Slayer rating, 4 hardpoint caps per game, 1.72 defense per game, and a 1.0 hardpoint KD. We'll give you the commercial break just to kind of ponder over who you think that is. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about CVO Season 6 playoffs. We're going to talk about CSGO. I'm going to open up some cases because I spent some money on Chroma Case 2s, and I will have that right after this quick commercial break.